we're trying to find cool spots.
Yeah, well, it's...
Our poor audience is moving around trying to get underneath the blower.
I think our air conditioning is...
it's a big building.
It's a big building.
You don't realize what a big building it is.
We don't use the studio 24/7, so we shut it down.
So you don't cool it. Yeah, exactly.
And we probably ought to turn the AC on like a day before because it's larger.
It's fine.
It's fine with me.
We can fan. It's fine.
Yeah. We could go outside to be a lot cooler.
That's right. We'd appreciate this if we went outside for a little while. Go ahead, because I'm going to talk
Brian
about my
C.
nephew
is here.
I have actually known Brian since he was a little boy. He hates it.
Did you change diapers
No, people
on
come
Brian?
on all the time, Brian, and I'll say, I've known them. He hates it because I know everybody. But I used to work with Brian's mother over at Bruno Payette.
Yeah.
Hello, Laree. So anyway, now that I know I've known Brian since he was 5 or 6.
What do you remember
I'm sure
about?
my audience member had a
What do you know about Brian?
I just remember he has a twin brother, but they are not identical twins.
Okay.
Yeah. And you were about this tall, running around the school when your mom would bring you over, and now here you're all grown up and have a real job.
Yeah.
I like that. It's a real. I mean, your mother's thrilled. A real job.
What defines a real job? When you get a paycheck, right? I mean,
right,
that's part of it.
Yeah.
Tell the audience what you do, Brian.
Yeah, what is your real job, Brian?
Okay. Well, sometimes that's difficult to explain, but I work for the University of Arkansas and Division of Agriculture, and through the Cooperative Extension Service, which Cooperative Extension is the county, state, and then of course national, and so that's the cooperative part of it. And the extension part of it, the extension service, is that we have offices in each county, and we have, of course, I'm an agent, and we have usually most counties have an agriculture agent, which is what I am, specialized in agriculture, and then we have an FCS agent, which is Family Consumer Sciences, and then some counties have a 4-H agent, and so we work with 4-H. So we just have two agents in Marion County. So I do the agriculture part, and then Renee Myers works as the Family Consumer Science agent.
Yeah,
and so then we share the 4-H responsibilities also.
Now back when you first met,
he doesn't remember me. Bless his little heart.
Were you involved in 4-H as a child?
I was a little bit. I showed a bottle calf whenever I was little.
A bottle calf, yeah.
Yeah. And then as I went on through up into junior high school, then I got in more into the FFA.
Yeah, got into that.
And
So that's what your passion was when you went into get your degree in college, right? For this
what's your
special
main
thing,
role as an ag? Because when I hear ag agent, I think of Mr. Was it Mr. Haney?
Yeah.
Was it Mr. Haney?
Yes,
You're too young to know. But anyway, Mr. Haney.
I've been asked that
you know
question
Green
before.
Acre? Do you watch the show?
Yeah, I've been asked that question before. I don't know who that is, but I was like, I know the show, but
YouTube him. YouTube Mr. Haney, and you'll know. So, but I mean, seriously, you say, "Well, I'm an ag agent," and people go, "Well, okay." What's the main thing you do every day?
Okay,
the gist of your job.
Better way to explain it is I'm an agriculture consultant.
Okay.
And people can call in and ask any questions related to agriculture. Gardening, home, lawn care. Beef producers is largely what we have around here, and they can ask questions. From animal health to forage, pasture management, and things like that. And then we also deal some with household pets and things like that. And we help identify weeds and plants and bugs and different things like that, and household pests sometimes. And so,
this time of year, before we had the big rain the other day, I bet you get a lot of questions about my fields burning up. What do I do, right?
Right. Yeah.
Get some water on it.
Do you give us tips like on heat resistant? I mean, things like that. There's better grasses, obviously, isn't there?
Right. There are. There are cool season grasses, and of course, some that just thrive in the summertime. Bermuda grass being one that really thrives in the summer. Bermuda grass actually originally came from. We imported it in from Africa, and so whenever it gets up to 80 degrees, that's when it's really starting to kick in and grow. And so that's for a hay meadow or a good pasture in the summertime, that's a good idea to get one of those, get a pasture in Bermuda established, and it's really helpful.
Yeah. And it's a kind of a vining grass, right?
It
It just takes off from roots.
Right. Rhizomes and stolons. It spreads. By that, and also it has seed. It spreads by seed too. So, if you're a homeowner and you have Bermuda grass yard, which is nice, it can real nice, look kind of like a carpet.
Is that the one that's always kind of cool green to under your feet?
Yeah.
There's a certain grass that
and zoysia grass looks a lot like it, and there's the way I tell the difference is they're a little bit different color. The Bermuda grass will be a little bit darker than the zoysia grass. Zoysia grass will be kind of a blue color. But and then there's fescue, which is more of a cool season grass, but there's a it's called Kentucky 31. It's been around for a long time, and it has something that's called an endophyte, and it's a fungus that's within the plant, and it lives off the plant, and it helps it to be more drought resistant, and so and it also really does pretty well in the summer. And whenever it starts to get real hot into the 80s and 90s, it'll kind of start to fall off a little bit. But that's whenever you can have, your Bermuda grass pastures, so you can rotate your animals around.
Well, I
like
always wondered, Daddy moves his cattle around. I honestly thought, no offense, Pops, that he just was bored, needed something to do. He drives his tractor up and down all the time for something to do, according to Mother.
Right.
But he'll move his cattle here, and then he moves them there, and I guess he's been moving around to different grasses all these years, and I thought Pops was just liking to move cattle.
Yeah, rotational grazing, that's a really good way to utilize your forages and utilize your land the best way possible. You can move your animals around. And we have fact sheets that is what we call them, and basically an informational sheet that we can, if you come in and have a question about rotational grazing or something like that, we have available, and we can hand out, and you can take home and read, and those are some good things that we have that people can utilize. And there's a program that the university is working on right now. It's called 300-Day Grazing, and it incorporates the rotational grazing and planting of different forages for different times of the year, and so that you can cut back on your hay that you have to feed, say in the winter time, and so 300-day grazing, there's 365 days in the year, so if you can cut out a large part of that hay feeding that you have to do and hopefully graze 300 days out of the year, then that's more profitable for the producer, and that's what it's all about, is trying to help them out to make a living, and agriculture's very important for our clothing and food and shelter.
Well, then I have another agriculture question. Okay, what about like this open range grazing? Are you guys encouraging a lot? because you can go to the grocery store as a female, not raising cattle like my daddy. You go in and you have the meats that you buy, and then the grain or the range fed beef, and you have the range fed chicken. Do you have? You encourage people, and there's information if somebody wanted to get into that. Because if you raise organic beef, you can. You talk about a premium price for that stuff.
There is a premium for those type of products that you can expect, and in a lot of cases it's going to be a little bit more work and managing them, and there are certain guidelines that you have to go by to be a certified organic beef producer, or poultry or chickens and things like that. But we do encourage those. If you can utilize your land to the fullest, of course that's one of the most expensive parts of farming is your land. If you can get the most use out of it, then that's worth a lot more to you. So we do encourage that, and we have information on pasture fed beef and poultry and things like that, and
what the requirements are that you have to do.
Yes, and through USDA they have those listed on their website too, and but it's kind of a niche market, and if that's a place where a producer can get that much more of a premium for his product, then of course that's
you've got
good
the
for them.
information for that.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we initially talked that we were going to talk about heat stroke. Is that heat stroke?
And here I was going to ask another question.
Well,
is farming going up or
away.
down? Because I teach Arkansas history, and so my students the other day we were talking about. It was online, so we were doing some information on agriculture in Arkansas, and somebody said, "Is it still as important? Is it still the #1 income producer in the state of Arkansas? Agriculture is, or?"
It is. Arkansas is, we're the natural state, and we have various throughout the state from top to bottom. We can grow everything from corn to beef cattle and chickens and hogs and everything like that. So
soybean
that's why
rice,
it's a big industry in Arkansas, and that's why it is because we're such a versatile state, and it's very important to the economy of Arkansas, and our agriculture industry is strong because of that, and I think that our university puts a lot of research and things into that, and so it's really worth it, and I think you bet it's still very important to Arkansas, I think.
Good.